Hi, I'm Erin. I have the biggest secret to tell you guys today, and I've actually been keeping the secret from you for several months now. And I shouldn't have been keeping this from you guys because this actually was inspired by you guys. So stay tuned so that I can finally reveal my big secret on Our Wyoming Life. Back in 2010, I attended my first farmer's market as a vendor. I was pregnant with our oldest daughter, Mackenzie. It was summertime. We had a few extra vegetables from the garden that we had always raised for our family, and my mom really encouraged me to go and to see if I would like it. I also took a few jars of jam and had spent a couple of days making just a few different varieties of jam along with my produce. All in all, I would say it was really fun, and it got me hooked on the idea of farmer's market. I was able to take something that I had grown and made myself, and I was able to sell it, and I even developed a few regular customers that came. So I think I went 6 or 7 times that first season, but it was enough to get me hooked. So that winter we had Mackenzie, and we became a family of 3. And come May, we decided that I was going to do farmer's market, that this was going to be my job. I wasn't going to go back to work in town. I was going to become a farmer's market producer. I didn't have a word for it at the time. I was just going to grow some vegetables. So we tilled up my big garden, which is about 8,000 square feet. I remember planting that first year, and I think trying to take a hoe and plant a row for onions or something, and I couldn't make a straight line to save my life because it was so big. I really had no idea what I was doing, and then I was like, I gotta water this giant thing, and I had no sprinkler system, and we ran some garden hoses, and I think I did get some timers, and it was a learning experience in what not to do. But the reality is that I grew vegetables, and I was able to go to farmer's market consistently every single week. So we started probably mid-July and we ended in September. And I was there every week. I think maybe we took a week off or something. I don't remember the details. This was a long time ago. But I was able to go and every week make some money. And I remember being super excited when I started to make about $200 to $300 a week. I was like, I can really do this, and we're going to start making some money. And it was something that I really enjoyed because it was something that I got to do not by myself, because my mom was helping me, Mike was helping, but I felt like it was my project, and underneath my leadership, this was flourishing. And after becoming a mom and becoming consumed with this little tiny human, it was nice to have something that was mine and something that I could focus my energy on. So I really enjoyed it, and really vowed after that first year in that big garden of 8,000 square feet to really learn how to start growing and maximize space and water more efficiently. And I just got hooked, and I just wanted to do it better and better. And so we continue on, and it kept going to farmer's market every year. Had Grace in 2013, had her, picked vegetables on Thursday, had Grace on Friday. My mom and Mike went to farmer's market for me. And then the next week I took Grace to farmer's market. So she was 8 days old and she went to farmer's market. I didn't miss a beat. Like, we made it to every single market, even though I had a child during the middle of market season. And then 2015 was similar but somewhat different because I was pregnant with Lincoln, but he was due the end of June. So I spent a lot of time planting and weeding and prepping for garden season while I was very pregnant, and then came to market and had a child, and a lot of people didn't even know that I'd had another baby, but my regular customers would be like, how are you doing? I'd be like, oh, I had another baby. And actually Lincoln stayed with my mom. And so I think that was maybe the first summer that Mike actually started coming to market with me, was in 2015. It was also the year that I took over as market manager. So I'd been involved with the running and the committee of farmers market since I became a master gardener in 2013. And then in 2015, I stepped up into the role as market manager, which was overwhelming considering the fact that I was having a baby and, adding a third child to our family, and just the responsibilities of gardening. And it was very overwhelming, but I stepped up into the role. We made it through that season. My co-market manager, Megan, also joined us that year as just a volunteer. And by the end of the season, she had also been roped into being market manager along with me. So since 2015, Megan and I have co-market managed the Saturday Farmers Market together, along with some other volunteers, and a really great board has helped us grow it into what it is today, which is a program that I can be super proud of. We do a lot of programs to help give access to food for low-income families. We do things like a cookware drive, a Share the Harvest program. There's just tons of stuff that we do. And I've talked about most of these in videos past, but we've really grown it into something that I'm very, very proud of. But it's time for a change. And this winter has been a lot of soul searching and what do I really want to do? I love farmers market with my entire soul, but I hate the routine of it and how it being on a Saturday, it pulls me from our family. And I think farmers market and I think summertime, and it was fine until our kids started going to school. But now that I have two of my kids in school, actually all three of them go to school because Lincoln's in preschool.
Mommy, what time are you coming home?
There's no, let's go do something fun on the weekends, or let's sleep in Saturday morning. It's very chaotic and it's very busy and it's very stressful. So I really feel like this is a time where I need to make a change. While our kids are still young and they still want to hang out with us on the weekends, I need to be able to make myself and Mike available for our children. So that leads me into a big announcement of how our local food business is going to change. We are now going to have a farm store here on site. We're going to be open approximately 4 days a week. I haven't quite worked out the schedule yet, but from now on, a majority of the time, you can find me here on the ranch selling my goods. So this is a big, scary, it's a very scary change for me. And so now it's all on me and Mike and the products that we produce. So if I can't attract people and have them see the value in the products that we're raising and that we're growing, and they have to take a 10-minute drive, if I can't get people convinced to do that, I'm not going to be successful. I am absolutely terrified and so excited at the same time. Watching the building being delivered and getting to walk into it for the first time, I already have a vision of where I want things to be and how I want it to look and what I want the feel of the store to be. So now I just have to make that all happen. I'm hoping to have the farm store open by around the first part of June, if not sooner. We'll see how well the rest of this farm store setup process happens. We still have some work to do, obviously, on the interior to make it into this inviting, welcoming store that I envision in my mind. But I really feel that this is the best step for our local food business. I want to step out on my own and be successful on our own. And I still want to support farmers market, and so I will have to see how the relationship continues between myself and farmers market and how I can juggle everything. And this season's going to be a little bit rough, but I hope to still attend farmers market on somewhat of a limited basis. But I want to create more of an option for people to access our products, not just Saturday morning from 8 till 12:30. And you guys as subscribers are a big part of the reason why we're taking this risk and making this change. This is a way for us to provide more access not only for our local customers, but for all of you guys that might be vacationing. We always say we're between Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore, so stop on by. So if you are in the northeast corner of Wyoming this summer, from Tuesday through Friday, we will be open here on the farm store. And that's the main thing that why we're really doing this, is I want more accessibility for customers, but I also want our kids to be able to have more accessibility to us also. Farmers market takes me away from the ranch a lot, whereas the farm store, I can be here on the ranch. So to me, in so many ways, it's going to be more convenient. I hope that I say that after we open. But I love that my kids can be in the store with me, or they can be over in the house and they can run back and forth, or they can be playing out front. And if I need to run out to the garden because I run out of something, I can run out and pick another bundle of beets. Or if I need more pork chops, I just run over to the shop and restock my freezers. So I hope that it's going to create a better customer experience and a better family-based business for ourselves. How's it going?
Good. How are you? What'd I miss?
I talked about farmers market and the farm store.
Cool.
And how I'm scared and excited.
You are. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're going to try new things and do different stuff and just, see what happens. And
What are you looking forward to at the farm store?
not going to farmer's market.
I'm really torn because I still want to be part of farmers market and I'm still helping run the farmers market, but you really don't have that emotional attachment to farmers market like I do.
No. It's nice to go. It's one of those things that you show up and you get there and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But everything building up to it and then afterwards is just not worth it.
I hate the 4:30 alarm clock on Saturday. And it's not so much the 4:30 alarm clock. It's the midnight Friday night before we get to bed.
And then the 4:30 alarm clock.
That is the issue. And I do hate the dragging everything to town, setting it all up. And I talked about you're either hot and sweaty or you're freezing and hypothermic. Like, there's no in between. Yeah. And then put it all back in the truck and bring it. I mean, we don't put it all back in the truck, but put a lot of stuff back in the truck. And tents. To not have to set up a tent, that part is exciting.
Yeah. And I don't have to worry about getting killed in the truck.
Yeah, my truck's a little dangerous.
Well, and the ice and snow and wind. It's a high-profile vehicle, so the wind tries to blow it off the road all the time. So it weighs like 8 pounds, but it's 30 feet tall.
He's more than 8 pounds.
The wind's always trying to blow it around. So it's going to be fun, and it'll be a new. We try something new all the time.
Yeah.
So we might as well just do something new this year. Last year it was the new high tunnel that we got up and running. This year we said. I think I vaguely remember us saying last year that we wouldn't have a big project.
I know. I was like,
this summer.
No more infrastructure projects because they're expensive and they take years to pay for. And I was like, no big infrastructure projects. And then a big expensive shed got delivered yesterday.
Yeah. So, and I was just pricing out some stuff for the inside as we start finishing and stuff. And you're going to not be happy with me at all once I tell you about all that. So
I am excited I was telling them earlier, like I'm excited for how this changes things for our kids and for our family, and to have them be more involved. And as Mackenzie gets a little older, she's already like, can I run the money and can I count change?
Can I run the money? Yeah. So one for you, one for me, one for you.
She run the money in a supervised capacity, but for them to start to develop those relationships with our customers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what's the next step? Where are we at?
We need to pull some wire and get some insulation. And
I just talked to our electrician, so he was just here. So
I got some plans for landscaping, and I really am anxious to get open. Radishes and spinach are growing, so I'm hoping that we can open with not only meat and baked goods, but also some produce.
Yep.
So
honey and our Wyoming Life gear and all kinds of interesting stuff.
I love how we're combining the two businesses. So
you hated it in the beginning. You were so mad at me. Our lawyer actually said you shouldn't be running two businesses. Everything should be underneath one umbrella. And which is the more likely to to flourish, kind of thing. And
but the emotional side of like this business and this business name that I have worked really hard on branding that for several years is gone. There will be a Facebook page for you guys to follow soon. I'm in the process of trying to get Facebook to let me change the name on my local food business to the Wyoming Life Farm Store, but it's a process and it's been denied for now. It might be changed by time.
She's trying to do something fishy.
Yeah, it might be approved by time you guys watch this, but soon there will be a Facebook page called the Wyoming Life Farm Store, so you can follow along.
When it's up, we'll announce it on our Facebook page. Probably we'll announce it everywhere, because it'd be really cool to get as many people that we can to like that page right away. Even if you're not local, you can still follow along and see what Erin's doing in the farm store, and she'll post videos on there, and she might do Facebook Live. God, who knows what she's going to do.
Facebook Live? So, we've never done that.
You can do. See, you're all about doing something different. Let's just throw caution to the wind. Let's just wear our pants on our head and run around crazy.
Yeah.
That's something different.
Yeah, this has been a big project. That's been this winter's been a lot of big projects happening behind the scenes. It's exciting to get to announce this and
One little thing.
one thing. Yeah. So our Wyoming Life Farm Star on location coming beginning of June.
Yep. All right. Can I go back to work now?
Yes.
All right. I'll see you later.
We'll come talk about that price list. Thank you guys. I really truly wouldn't be doing this without your guys' support. And thank you to all of my local customers. Also, I am so excited for what the future is going to bring and for this new journey with the Our Wyoming Life Farm Store. Thanks. Is that it? Should I end it that way?